Okay, let's unpack this deep dive. We are jumping into the world of making your existing headphones and earbuds even better.
Yeah.
You know, you love the sound, you love the features, but maybe the fit,
Mm.
it's just not quite right, or they don't stay in.
Or they just get uncomfortable after an hour or so.
Exactly.
That's the reality for a lot of people, isn't it? The standard bits that come in the box, they're designed to fit most people, maybe.
Kind of one size fits most.
Right, but not your ears or your lifestyle or even how much you sweat. And that's where these aftermarket accessories come in. They promise to, well, transform your listening experience.
Absolutely. And we've got some interesting sources to explore today. We want to see exactly what these companies claim they can do.
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling insights from the websites of two players in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Comply Foam, they're really the specialists in memory foam ear tips.
The foam tip people.
And then Wicked Cushions, who offer a much broader range of stuff. Ear pads, headbands, earbud tips too.
It's a whole ecosystem, almost.
So our mission today is really to dig into their claims. What problems are they actually trying to solve?
What benefits do they promise? Comfort, fit, sound quality, even durability.
Yeah, and what are the little details they highlight that might actually make a noticeable difference for you, the listener?
Because honestly, I think we've all been there, haven't we?
Oh, definitely.
You get a great pair of earbuds, but they constantly feel like they're about to, pop out,
Right.
especially if you're moving.
Or your fancy over-ear headphones. They sound amazing, but the ear pads make your ears sweat or maybe feel itchy after a while.
Exactly. And that discomfort or that poor fit, it's not just annoying, it actually messes with the sound quality.
Right.
And the whole experience, really. If your earbuds aren't sealed properly in your ear canal,
Or the headphone pads aren't sealing around your ears.
yeah, you lose bass, you let in outside noise, and you probably end up turning the volume up higher than you really need to.
Which, as we'll see, has other implications beyond just the audio.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start by really focusing in on the earbud tips, because that's where Comply Foam has really planted its flag, specifically with memory foam.
Yeah, and what's interesting is their complete dedication to this material as a premium alternative to the standard silicone tips everyone gets.
Mm-hmm.
They make some really strong claims about their memory foam. Starting with fit, they talk about a premium fitting and a, quote, guaranteed secure fit.
And they back that up with some pretty impressive, well, testimonials, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
They mentioned their tips are used by global military personnel and even, get this, have been used on the moon.
On the moon. Okay, that's quite an endorsement for staying power, isn't it?
It really is.
It speaks volumes about their confidence in how well the foam conforms and, stays put.
And beyond just security, they promise serious comfort, claiming their foam is 30 times softer than silicone.
30 times. Wow.
Okay, imagine wearing something 30 times softer against your skin for hours.
Ah.
I mean, that alone could be a game changer for all-day listening.
Right. Absolutely. And that comfort, it leads directly into another key benefit they highlight. Enhanced sound isolation.
The seal.
Exactly. Because the foam expands and conforms to your specific ear canal shape, it creates a much, much better seal than a generic silicone tip ever could.
And a better seal means less outside noise leaking in. Simple as that.
Precisely. Which means you hear more of your music or your podcast, whatever.
Less of the bus or the office chatter.
Right. They state this enhanced isolation leads to better sound quality overall. You hear the nuances. And importantly, it means you can listen comfortably at lower volumes.
Because you don't have to crank it up to drown out the noise.
Exactly. And they specifically link this to protecting your hearing over time.
That's a really crucial point, often overlooked, I think. These aren't just about comfort and sound. They could actually be part of a hearing health strategy.
Mm-hmm. They also claim 100% better grip than traditional silicone tips, which again just reinforces that promise of a secure fit, especially if you're active.
It all seems to tie into their mission statement, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
To protect hearing while transforming the way the world listens. They clearly see themselves doing more than just selling accessories.
There's a health angle, too.
Definitely.
Okay, let's get into the weeds a little bit. They talk about their specific foam technology. What makes their memory foam different from, say, a cheaper foam tip you might find somewhere else?
This is where the engineering stuff comes in. They highlight a slower recovery time for their foam.
Slower recovery, what does that mean?
So after you compress it, roll it between your fingers. It takes 10 to 20 seconds to fully expand back in your ear.
Okay.
They contrast this with other foam tips they claim expand much faster, maybe only 2 to 5 seconds.
So why is slower better here? What does that slower expansion actually do for me?
It gives you time. Crucially, it gives you time to get it inserted properly. You
Wow.
compress the tip into that little cylinder, insert it into your ear canal, and then it slowly expands over those 10-20 seconds, custom fitting itself.
Instead of just instantly pushing back while you're trying to put it in.
Exactly. It makes getting a really good, comfortable seal much easier, less fiddly.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Get it in place, then it gently fills the space.
Okay. Right. They also claim their specific foam material doesn't swell when exposed to moisture.
Oh, like sweat.
Sweat, humidity, yeah, so you get consistent performance. And they state their tips exert 50% less pressure on the ear canal compared to other foam tips.
Which ties back to that all-day comfort promise.
Precisely. They emphasize using user-friendly, soft materials in the construction, too.
Now, finding the right size earbud tip. That's probably the biggest hurdle for people, isn't it?
It really is.
What guidance does Comply offer on sizing? How do you figure it out?
Well, they recommend starting with the same size Comply tip that matched the stock silicone tips you were using. So if you use medium silicone, try medium Comply.
Okay, reasonable starting point.
They even share some data suggesting that up to 60% of the population actually uses a medium size. But if you're unsure, they do offer assorted packs. So you can try different sizes, small, medium, large. Find your perfect fit that way.
And what if that first size you try isn't quite right? How do you troubleshoot?
They give pretty clear advice. If you feel pressure or pain, or if the earbuds feel like they're being sort of pushed out of your ear,
Yeah, I've had that happen.
then you should probably size down, go smaller.
Okay.
But if the earbuds feel loose, like they might fall out easily, especially when you're moving.
Or if outside noise is still leaking in noticeably, maybe messing with your noise cancellation.
Exactly. If the ANC isn't performing well, then you should size up. Go for the larger size to get a better seal.
They also mentioned something about ear canal shape, right? Oval canals.
Yeah, they point out that about 95% of people actually have oval-shaped ear canals, not perfectly round. And for wired earbuds or those IEMs in-ear monitors, they suggest their specific TOZ's model might provide an even better fit and seal because of that shape.
And this brings up an interesting point they make about those digital fit tests some earbuds have now.
Right, the apps that tell you if you have a good seal.
Yeah. Comply notes that sometimes achieving genuine, all-day comfort and real-world security might actually be more important for your listening experience than just passing one of those automated digital tests.
It's about what feels best and performs best for you, day in, day out, not just what the app says for a few seconds.
That's a great point. Your ears aren't just data points, are they?
Not at all.
And if you do buy directly from their website and get the size wrong, they have a program for that.
Yes, provided you buy direct from complyfoam.com, and it's for a listed compatible earphone model. They have a guaranteed fit program.
Okay.
You can contact them within 2 weeks to arrange an exchange for a different size, or even a different core size if the attachment point was wrong.
Good to know. Was there a catch?
Well, you do have to cover the shipping cost for the replacement pair they send you.
Ah,
And importantly, this program only applies if you buy from their website, not if you buy through partners like Amazon or other retailers.
good distinction to be aware of. So getting them on the earbud, is it just like popping on a silicone tip, or is there a specific way?
They definitely recommend a specific method to get the best performance. It's slightly different.
Okay, walk me through it.
First, obviously, take the old stock tip off.
Right.
Then, firmly push the Comply tip onto the earbud's sound port. Make sure it feels secure on there. Then, the key step, roll the foam tip between your fingers, compress it into a thin, tight cylinder.
Okay, make it small.
Yeah. Then, gently insert that compressed tip into your ear canal, and then just hold the earbud in place for maybe 10 to 15 seconds.
While it does that slow expansion thing.
Exactly, while the foam slowly expands and creates that custom seal inside your ear.
Okay, so a slightly different technique.
Yeah?
Requires a little patience, but sounds straightforward enough.
Yeah, not complicated.
What about durability? How long can you expect a pair of these foam tips to last? And can you clean them?
Comply states the average lifespan is around 2 to 3 months per pair.
Okay, not forever then.
No, but they're clear. It really depends on how often you use them, your personal body chemistry,
Yeah.
Earwax, oils,
Right.
and the environment they're exposed to. You'll know it's time to replace them if the foam starts to flake or tear.
Or if it loses that slow memory property, like if it starts expanding really quickly again.
Exactly. If it loses its memory, it won't seal as well.
Got it. And cleaning. Can you extend their life a bit?
You can. They say to gently remove earwax and debris, Best to do it when the tips are at room temperature, not right after you've worn them when they might be warm and softer.
Okay. How do you clean them?
You can use one of their specific Comply tip wipes. Or you can wash them gently in warm water, just water. Squish out the excess water with a soft cloth, and then let them air dry completely before you use them again.
Any big cleaning don'ts? Things that will absolutely ruin the foam.
Oh yeah, they have strict warnings here. Never use soap or detergent or any alcohol-based cleaners.
Right, that makes sense. Probably breaks down the foam structure.
Definitely. They also specifically advise avoiding handling the tips immediately after you've applied lotions or hand sanitizer.
Oh, interesting, because those things can damage the foam too.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Those substances can break down the material over time. So clean hands, but not just sanitized hands.
Wow. Okay, so be mindful of what's on your hands. It sounds like they've really put a lot of thought and, well, experience into this whole foam tip thing.
They definitely lean into their history and scale, you know. They talk about protecting over 93 million ears,
Wow.
investing over 10,000 hours of engineering annually, being compatible with over 2,000 hearing devices.
That's a lot.
And having over 30 years of experience in this specific space, they claim 95% compatibility across all earbud devices, list tons of major brands.
Apple, Bose, Sony, Sennheiser. Usual suspects.
All of them. Plus, they make a point of saying they're made in the USA, designed, developed, manufactured there. And they offer related products, too, like cases and cleaning gear.
Okay, so Comply is clearly the deep specialist, intensely focused on that earbud tip experience, especially their specific memory foam tech, emphasizing comfort, isolation, fit, and even that hearing protection angle.
Exactly.
But maybe your discomfort isn't just about earbuds. Maybe it's those big over-ear headphones that are the issue.
Right, and that's where Wicked Cushions comes in. They offer a much broader approach to upgrading your listening gear.
Broader how?
Well, while they do offer foam earbud tips, specifically mentioning compatibility for Apple AirPods Pro and Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro.
Okay, so they compete with Comply in some models.
A little, yeah. And they also do earbud ear hooks, mainly for AirPods. But their product range really expands into the headphone world in a big way.
What kind of headphone accessories are we talking about?
Their core offerings are replacement ear pads. That's kind of their bread and butter.
Replacing those stock pads that wear out or get uncomfortable.
Precisely, but they also have sweat covers that fit over ear pads, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And replacement headbands for the top part of the headphone, plus some other unique items like protective shell covers for premium headphones like AirPods Max or Sony XM5s, and even some gaming adjacent stuff like controller skins and mouse pads, though we're focusing on the audio gear upgrades here.
Got it. So they cover more parts of the actual headphone structure.
Yeah.
What's their overall message or claim across all these different products? What are they promising?
Their main tagline is premium comfort, perfect sound.
Okay.
And they aim to let you transform your headphones with accessories that offer, quote, unmatched comfort, durability, and style.
Style, too. Interesting. Let's focus on those ear pads first, since that seems core. What benefits do they say you'll get by swapping out your stock pads for theirs?
They list several key things. First, comfort and thickness. They highlight using soft memory foam.
Memory foam again. Seems to be the magic ingredient.
It really does seem to be the go-to material for comfort, yeah. Here, it's in the ear pads, providing a snug, they say, pressure-free fit for those long listening sessions.
Makes sense. What else?
Second, superior sound quality. They claim their pads improve noise isolation.
Just like the ear tips, a better seal around the ear.
Exactly, which they say leads to clearer sound overall, enhanced bass, and crisp highs. That better seal makes a huge difference to the audio you actually hear, blocking outside noise.
So again, better seal means better sound, and potentially allows you to listen at lower, safer volumes, even with headphones.
Precisely the same principle. Third, durability. They state their pads are made from premium materials designed to withstand daily wear and tear.
Suggesting they might last longer than the original pads that came with the headphones.
That seems to be the implication, yeah. Fourth, perfect compatibility and easy installation. They stress their design specifically for different popular headphone models.
So not just generic pads, but tailored to fit specific headphones.
Right. And fifth, they actually lean into the aesthetics. They offer unique designs and color options to kind of refresh the look of your headphones, give them a personal touch.
That's interesting, combining the functional upgrade with a style one. What about those other accessories, like the sweat covers? That seems like a pretty smart idea for certain situations, like exercise.
It really does. They offer sweat covers designed specifically for popular models. They list the new Sonos Ace, Sennheiser Momentum 4, lots of Bose Quiet Comfort models, Sony
So
headphones.
if you work out in your nice headphones, this can protect the pads.
Exactly. They also have replacement headbands for tons of brands: Apple, Astro, Beats, Bose, Sony, SteelSeries. Some are actual replacements, others are silicone covers that just slip over the existing headband.
Now, installing ear pads. Sometimes that looks a bit tricky, doesn't it? With little clips or maybe adhesive. What does Wicked Cushions say about their installation process?
They seem very confident here. They claim a flawless, step-by-step, 5-minute installation.
5 minutes. That sounds optimistic for some models.
Maybe, but they make it easy by mentioning that video tutorials are available, so you can watch someone do it for your specific headphone model.
Okay, video guides definitely help. That makes 5 minutes seem more plausible. What
Mm.
about guarantees? If you buy them and don't like them or they don't fit right?
They offer a very strong guarantee here. It's called the 365 Days to Fall in Love warranty.
A full year.
A full year. If you're not completely satisfied within 365 days, they promise a full money-back refund, apparently no questions asked.
Wow, that's a serious commitment from the company. Shows a lot of confidence.
It really does. They also mention free shipping for orders over $40 within the US, which is a nice perk.
Okay. What kind of scale are they operating at? Do we know how many people are using their stuff?
They highlight their reach through customer reviews, citing over 50,000 online,
Okay, good social proof.
and they give a really concrete number for their impact, stating they've replaced over 1,500,000 ear pads and counting.
Whoa, 1.5 million ear pads replaced.
Yeah, that number really tells you something, doesn't it? About how common the issue of worn out or uncomfortable stock ear pads really is.
Absolutely. And how many people are actively looking for and finding these aftermarket solutions?
Huge demand. They also list, as you'd expect, a very extensive range of compatible headphone and earbud brands and models across their different product categories: earpads, covers, headbands.
Okay, so if we step back now and try to connect these two sources, Comply Foam and Wicked Cushions, we see a clear pattern emerging, right?
Definitely. Both companies are fundamentally addressing the limitations, the weak spots of the standard accessories that come bundled with our audio gear.
Right. They both recognize that the stock tips and pads are often the weakest link in the chain. They can hold back the potential comfort or even the performance of the device itself.
And crucially, both strongly leverage memory foam as a key material solution.
Keep coming back to foam.
It does. For earbud tips, primarily with Comply, and then for both earbud tips and headphone earpads with Wicked Cushions, they both understand that this conforming soft material can provide a superior fit and seal.
And that better fit and seal is the foundation, really, for their promise of improved sound quality, mainly through better noise isolation.
Yeah, blocking out the world so you can hear your audio better. What really stands out, though, is their different scope, isn't it?
How so?
Well, Comply is the deep specialist, laser-focused on memory foam earbud tips. They talk a lot about their specific foam technology, the precision fit, and they even frame their product in terms of hearing protection with that clear mission statement.
Right, very focused.
Whereas Wicked Cushions takes a much broader approach. They offer a whole ecosystem of accessories for both headphones and earbuds,
Covering not just comfort and sound.
but also durability and even aesthetic customization, changing the look. And they back it all up with that really impressive 365-day satisfaction guarantee,
So different strategies, different breadths of product.
which I think raises an important question for you, the listener. Why should any of this actually matter to you?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, if you've ever experienced that ear fatigue after wearing headphones for too long,
Or the sheer frustration of earbuds constantly feeling loose or actually falling out during a run or workout?
or if you just feel like you're missing out on your music's potential because distracting outside noise keeps creeping in.
Then exploring these kinds of aftermarket accessories could genuinely make a significant difference in your daily listening life, couldn't it?
Absolutely. The specific details we've dug into: Comply's claim of 30 times softer foam, that slow expansion time they talked about, the specific materials.
And Wicked Cushions, thick memory foam ear pads, the practical sweat covers, the aesthetic options.
These are the elements these companies say add up to a tangible improvement, an improvement in how your audio devices connect with you physically.
They're offering potential solutions to those really common, sometimes persistent frustrations. promising to elevate the experience you get from the headphones or earbuds you already own.
Gear you probably invested good money in, right?
Exactly. You want to get the best out of it.
So